artificial scar tissue that is the result of being controlled and forced, and how we are taught to kind of react to that. So.
What about when you've got your own projects and you procrastinate from that? What would you call that then?
The question was, what about when you procrastinate from your own projects? If you procrastinate from your own projects, then I don't really care. Like, it's not procrastination if you kind of just don't want to do it. Like, you know, if you're procrastinating because you are forcing yourself to do it, and then you say like, oh, too much pressure, then that's exactly what I was trying to say. Like, don't try and externalize it as another you telling you to not do it, or telling you to hurry up and get it done, but actually just come to the decision yourself and say, I want to do this, not I have to do this. So, thank you, everyone.
I should note that at the last Global Game Jam, Brock was obviously the opposite of procrastination and created music and sounds for most of the games there, so it was great.
But to be fair, like the 3 weeks before and the 3 weeks after were like full procrastination. It's just a localized kind of highly productive sector.
I think I also want to hear from Anthony later on, who was the only person in the audience who said he never procrastinates, although it took him a little while, so maybe there's a micro procrastination in there. Anyhow, that is the end of round one. Thank you for all our round one speakers. We'll be returning in 10 minutes for round two. So please, yes, talk to people who you haven't spoken to, and we have water available so that you can drink water and be replenished, which is delicious. Or I'll stop talking now. See you in 10 minutes.
How you doing, bro?
Actually, there was a lot of talk.
We've got the lights down last night.
If everybody can make their way back to the sinks, we'll be starting round 2 soon.
I think we're doing a hotspot on this one, I'm not sure.
Okay, for round 2, I'll just give a rundown of the speakers. So first is myself, and then we'll have Meteorite Games, Anthony, Andy, Chris, and then Tim Oliver, who is actually a video pitch. So that's how we'll end. Also, just before I forget, for our filmmakers at Studio Bento, if we can just get a few show of hands so that Lester will know who to follow up later on. So if we can first get a show of hands, I guess, from the indie or professional developers who are in the audience, people who make games in their own time, just, yep, right up there. That's quite a lot. Maybe everybody look at Lester. And yeah, be sure to talk to Lester at the end when we're networking. We definitely just want to get a sort of an impression of the scene here in Perth. So, on to me and my presentation, which I kind of finished writing on the bus, on my phone, but we'll see how it goes. And my timer starts now. My name's Nick Lowe. I'm chair of Let's Make Games, and I also made a game and other games. My presentation is called Make a Game in 48 Hours, I Ludum Dare You. That's how it's said, apparently. Anyhow, so Rich, would you mind turning around I feel like
Yeah.
Thank you. So what is Ludum Dare? It's a 48-hour solo game making competition, or if you do it as a team game jam, you can take 72 hours, which suited me a lot better. Essentially, you create everything, unlike something like Global Game Jam. You don't use prefabs, you make everything in that period of time, including all sounds and audio assets, which was something new for us. And it's something that's run online, but there are these real-world gatherings I'm going through quickly. So I'm going to go through the stages of Ludum Dare. It was a 10-year anniversary, get excited, yeah. Then realise that you quite like your weekends, become fairly apathetic. And then decide to put it onto Facebook, because that makes it kind of real and means that you're committed to it, particularly if you're the guy who put it on, you can't really not do it. Then get excited. This is the presentation from Chevy Ray on Twitter. He's the person who made Pixel Junk. He did an interactive keynote. So the keynote's fantastic. Check it out. You don't just watch it, you play it. Wow. Initial ideas. Come up with crazy ideas which you will never ever implement and post them online so that it's a little embarrassing later on when you don't do any of them. So yes, realise the hard truths in stage 6. Those ideas were never ever going to happen, and if they did, would it even be an enjoyable game? I think our initial design had something about making people realise who they really were, or something like that. Just actually get on to making, yeah. Get inspired. Stage 7 was fantastic to have this sort of Facebook group online and other people participating. When I kind of got a little down about not making too much progress or just having a game design at the end of game 1, everything that people were posting onto Facebook, this is from Andy's game, it was fantastic, so thanks everyone who participated in Ludum Dare in Perth. Redesign your game, keep it simple. This is the platformer which we ended up with after our, sort of mind-melting deconstruction of a game. It's got a giant cat in it, and we released it. It's great. The cat looks at you. You have to run and collect berries. When it's not looking, if you step on twigs, you get its ire and attention. It is very good. It's called Berry Hunt. It was meant to be called Berry Run, but We're a bit rushed. Feedback and voting. Make sure that you stay involved after submission. Global Game Jam, you seem to just throw the game out, but Ludum Dare's got a month or something where you're meant to vote on things. My secret shame is that I did not vote on things, even though I went through, played things and all that. I'm going on, I'm running out of time. Get great tools. We use SFX, a Sprite Something, and Pickle. Sprite Something is like $5 on the App Store, which is something like $1 million. That's the Google sort of price comparison thing. Yeah, $5 is like $1 million, but it was worthwhile. And tips, just do it, keep it simple, iterate on what you're doing, get involved, stay involved. Finishing your game at Ludum Dare doesn't mean you're finished. Stay involved in the community and just do it. That's my presentation, yay for me. I also thank Min, who's sitting at the front. We jammed together. We kind of half created 2 games, and then we created our Berry Hunt game on the last day. So, any questions for me or Min or me? Yes?
Are these things, are they like game jams that happen just once a year, or...?
The question was, is this like Game Jam, does it happen once a year? Unlike Game Jam, Ludum Dare has been going for a long time. I think it had their 10-year anniversary. And they run, it seems, sort of quarterly. So, and then they're very open for the community. You sign up, you create an account, they've got a custom WordPress site. And if you want to run a mini game, if you want to run a mini Ludum Dare, you can do that. You just put it up and whoever gets involved gets involved. So, yeah, get into it. It's awesome. Any other questions?
Are you going to try and make a bigger event for the next one because we weren't able to get enough people for?
Yeah, Brock was asking if we're going to make a bigger event for the next one. For people who are following it on Facebook, I put an event up, and if we got enough people, we're going to secure a venue, so a real-world gathering, and that was likely going to be here in Space Cubed. But we kind of set a cut-off, because if we didn't get enough people involved at that point, I didn't really want to do fire warden training or be here for 72 hours. So yeah, I guess the answer to that is it will be a bigger event next time if more people are interested. So make sure
get involved.
Yeah, get involved. Get involved. I think that's up there. Just do it. Just get involved. Any other questions? Get involved in asking questions. Nobody? Nobody? Questions?
The thing is, you covered everything.
I've covered everything. That is, I'll take that as a comment. Yeah. One more question.
So is this also one where you post the source of everything online?
The question is this one where you have to post the source of everything online? They're very strict on rules for the 48-hour competition, which you do by yourself. And they request you have to put up the source code to show that you've done that, but they don't release the source code. If you do the Game Jam, they're a lot more lenient, and you just put it up and you just kind of say, I did this. A really cool thing that they do in Ludum Dare is they encourage people to do a time lapse of their screen. So it's awesome. There's a few games and you can see the game 48 hours in a few minutes. So yeah, do it. Do it.
Notch has done it for a couple. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, if you're Notch. His Ludum Dare is entertaining. You heard it from Brock right here. Now, right on to Meteorite Games.
Wait, applause first.
Oh yes, applause for me. Give it up. Thank you, Anthony. Applause for Anthony for giving me applause. That'll just be me. Okay. Next up, we have Meteorite Games, who are talking about Eternal Tournament, and I have the clicker here. And also, Min has the time here, so make sure to check out the time. This is slightly intimidating. But yes, welcome.
Welcome, Meteorite Games.
I'm too big. Alright, so we're Meteorite Games. So who exactly are we? Well, we're a Murdoch group that went, oh, let's build a game, and we want to create a massive industry like everyone, but we're really trying to aim our game onto Steam and make millions. That's the dream. Who exactly are we? Well, I'm the designer. We've got art beta and animator Mike. Connors and Georgie are one of our concept artists, and then Kit's our model. And we have a special thanks to Matt for doing the programming, but now he's a pilot.
Art beta, as you can see, equals art director. It's a kind of a clever play on words, and I get a stamp that I can stick on people's stuff when I like it. So, ta-da.
Eternal Tournament is our current project. It's a 3D stage. We're making a multiplayer. You'll see a demo very shortly. And yeah, that'll go through it. It's easy to explain that way. I think this is your section. Yeah.
So this is more or less where we were when we pitched at this event last year. I think we actually had a character in, but you kind of get the point of the stage that the game was at. This is some of the art that we have for our first character, and some of the art that we have for our second character. So yeah, we've got some good stuff coming up. And this is our demo, which can I get you to actually click on the hidden video? It's very exciting. Be more than just the one character eventually. Just only have one that's game ready. So. And it's not that laggy either, that's just a screen capture.
That's me who just died.
Yes, that's all screen captured from Kai. So, speaking of Kai.
Yeah, so after this we're actually going to have 2 characters hopefully done before our next semester break. That's a plan. If our maybe programmers sitting somewhere over there join us and don't become pilots, that'd be awesome. Yeah, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll be ready to ship, and then we need to find someone who wants to give us $16,000 so we can buy all our licensing. Anyone just put your hand up, that'd be awesome. No? Cool. Yeah, cool. Any questions?
Sure. What's the engine you're licensing that costs 16K?
Oh, we have to Unity, 3DS, Photoshop, all of it. We're students, we just stole them. Well, student license. Student license. Yeah.
Have you thought about using the Kickstarter for if you can't get the money grant kind of thing?
Yeah, that was like our backup plan kind of thing. We've already written down some goals and some ideas, and that'll be up on the Pygmy list if you could be able to go through it all. Plus, we will probably be having a beta before for testing all our stuff out with the 2 characters before next semester starts.
Also, do you have like a group page or anything?
Yeah, we got.
You're not first yet.
We are on Facebook, and
we've got a website. Yes.
Yeah, so
look at the website.
We've got Facebook and Twitter, but we don't use our Twitter, so you can just join it. But yeah, we've got a Facebook page which we put our updates, and we've got our website which you can access that demo and you can play. It's all multiplayer.
Not quite.
Oh well, it doesn't have the pretty art yet,
but it's coming.
We have a question from Ustream. Have you already been in contact with Steam, and if so, what are their tools like?
Sorry? Who?
Have you already been in contact with Steam?
Oh,
so
Steam.
what are their tools like?
Well, we contacted them and they said if we like your game, then we'll move from there. Up until that, they've just said keep us updated, and we have, and they just keep saying, yeah, cool, keep going. And that's about as good information we get from them.
Cool.
Anyone else? Where's Nick? Nick, you have to ask a question.
You ask everyone a question.
Yeah.
Why must I ask a question? No, that's not my question. I guess I'm feeling really on the spot right now. Right, yeah, I guess your team's obviously very content and design heavy. So, I mean, what's your plan on replacing your pilot programmer, aside from the 2 people who are here today?
Well, the hope is, stand up, come on, so everyone can see, oh. These are the guys that hopefully don't plan on being pilots, so if they fall through, I can C# and so can Mike.
Yeah,
yeah. But if that happens, it's probably going to take a lot longer. Yeah, cool. If you guys want to talk about it afterwards, we'll hear.
We will hear.
We will hear.
Well, notice you managed to have so many people come up and still come in within 3 minutes.
That's what we're worried about.
So our next speaker will be taken directly from our social networking interface. This is Anthony, our treasurer. His talk is on creative versus creator.
Yeah, and I'm going to blow that 3 minutes, don't worry, it's great. Excellent clicker. So, creative versus creative, this is my talk for tonight, also known as my Nike ultimatum. Quickly, this is me, this is some of the stuff I'm involved in, and this is the little human being that keeps me up at night. Oh, I'm going to waste some more time just there. All right, what's up? I'm here, I want to ask you, implore you all, create stuff. Become a creator, don't just be a creative. Be someone who, at the end of their day, they still can't get enough of it. If you're standing in here or sitting here in this room, chances are there's something inside of you which is saying, create me. And I'm here just to ask you to do that. When you do become a creator, you're going to be amongst all these really awesome other people, you know, men and women throughout the ages who have just created stuff just for the sake of creating it. But why? Frankly, because it feels good. There's really no great explanation, but also creating your own artifact that changes the world, changes the people around you is one of the most rewarding things you can have. It doesn't have to be a big change, it just has to be your own in your own voice. All right, that sounds great, but how do I go about it? I've got a day job, you know, crippling Diablo-3 addiction. I've got 3 things which have helped me out at least, and hopefully that'll help you too. Number 1, make awesome things. Let's be honest, making awesome things is really difficult. Even just making something relatively good is just slightly less difficult. But I remember a story my songwriting lecturer told me back at university. He said to me, Anthony, you're going to have to create a veritable mountain of shit before you ever find the diamond that you want. And it's true. Every day you just have to slog through and you're going to get it wrong so many times, but all for that once or twice a year that you look at and get it right, you go, wow, I actually made that. It's a great feeling. Anyway, number 2, expectations, kill them. Starting any project with the idea of financial reward is going to kill your creativity from the very outset. That's not to say that goals aren't good. Goals are great. Goals are required, as are deadlines, milestones, budgets, all that kind of thing. What I'm trying to say, though, is that you want to be creating something as an end to itself. If your creation is a means to another end, therein only lies disappointment. Neil Gaiman had something very smart to say about this recently. He said, I decided I would do my best in the future not to write books for the money. If you didn't get the money, you didn't have anything. If I did work I was proud of and I didn't get the money, at least I'd still have the work. That's not to say that you don't get paid. You should get paid for things you do. You should always be rewarded for things you do. Hugh MacLeod talks about this a lot, and I really could just shut up and tell you all to read his book because he says it a lot better and much more humorously than I could. So anyway, actually, yeah, check out that book. Number 3, management. You're going to need to manage yourself, your finances, your time, your creativity. Here's a quick, 30 seconds, I know. Quick couple of things. First of all, create yourself a bubble time. This is time that no one else is allowed to burst. They cannot interrupt you. This is when you need to be at your most effective. It'll be different times for different people. Find out what that time is and deal with it. Set yourself up for success. If you're a runner, set your clothes up the night before. If you need to eat while you're working, have snacks at your workstation to avoid the 20-minute trip to the kitchen. Everything in moderation, including moderation itself. Allow yourself those creative bursts to stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning. I know, but this is nearly finished. Allow yourself to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning and be able to just get that creative impulse out of you, but also have the contingency and plan that you can still get to work the next day without causing an accident. And lastly, the Nike ultimatum. Just do it. Thank you very much. If I had that up, I would have done something really good.
Questions for Anthony?
How do you set up an environment for like a bubble time? Well, how do you do that? Is it...
You know what? I was talking to Chris McCormick about this.
Hang on, repeat the question.
Sorry. Guys, Ustream, how you doing? How do you set yourself up for bubble time? How do you set your environment up for that? And I was actually talking to Chris McCormick about this just the other day. And we figured out that new parents who have these skills, they have to learn them by necessity to be able to have their time to deal with a little human being and then still actually be a human themselves at the end of the day. As I said, prepare yourself a lot. Kill everything on... When is your bubble time? Kill everything on your computer except your work environment. No emails, no social media. That's all just going to be further distractions. If you're going to allow yourself to get distracted, distract yourself into another project. That answers that procrastination, why I put my hand up for that. And just try and make sure people understand that this bubble time is important for you, not just because you're being selfish, but because you're being selfish. And it's something that you need to do, and it's gonna make you feel better, and it's gonna make the people around you feel better that you're actually able to get this output out and you're not antsy about everything.
That's satisfied, yeah.
Cool.
Satisfactory answer.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I probably should have asked this question, but it's implied there's no actual bubble, right? There's no...
Well, if you can blow one big enough, yeah.
That's what you need.
Okay, our next speaker is Andy. He was talking about hardcore. Where are we going with Chris? Chris has managed to bump Andy from the roster. He'll have to take his place just after Chris. And Chris is talking on alternate reality games, which I was quite surprised by. Welcome, Chris.
Hello.
Now a brief intermission while Chris works out technical issues.
Just do a quick dance.
I was just about to do a dance and it's all back, so.
You can still dance.
Do the robot.
Hi. First of all, take that, Andy.
See you later,
Okay, so I'm going to talk about alternate reality games and try and convince you all to make one. Basically, I'm just doing this to show off about a project I've just finished. An alternate reality game is an interactive narrative. So I guess all games involve narrative because the player tells a story about what they did during the game in their head. And so that's not that different from other games. The real world in an alternate reality game is the real world. The game world in an alternate reality game is the real world. So you're running around in the real world doing stuff. Player tokens are actual human beings, so people out there in the real world. And the game is woven into the player's life. There are multiple interfaces into the game, so you might be accessing it through different through your web browser, through your mobile phone, SMS, through your smartphone application, stuff like that. So yeah, they're transmedia games across multiple media. So I'm going to talk about the project I've been working on with some artists called PBI Collective. It's not exactly like most other alternate reality games in that these alternate reality games usually run over weeks or months or years, but this one is showing at art festivals. So each game runs for sort of like half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that, and has up to 40 players. The interfaces into this game are phones, QR codes, and email. So the players are running around with phones, running the application, and they're scanning QR codes, and their email is also involved. This is a screenshot of the main interface into the game, which is a map. And you can see here your own player blip. That shows where you are in the game. And the little icons are sort of like mini games within that game. And you can see down the bottom here you've got so once you get to one of those games and play it, you scan a QR code that's on the wall, and then this comes up, which is a description of what the game is, and it's all kind of like challenging stuff. I should get one of the artists to say this properly because I just did the programming, but yeah, it's stuff that makes you, maybe pushes you, makes you slightly uncomfortable. Yeah, so that's a picture of someone scanning a QR code. This is the map. It's actually multiplayer, so you can see where other players are. So the idea is that you can interact with other players while they're doing it, and you can all arrive at the same game and play it at the same time. This is the message screen, so everybody involved in the game, even though they might be on other sides of the city, can send each other messages and communicate. And this is someone playing the game. Thank you very much. Oh, and if you want more information, it's using PhoneGap, iPhone to deploy to iPhone and Android. My time's up. Yeah. Email those guys, projects@pbicollective.com, if you happen to run an art festival and you want it showing. I know they're pretty solidly booked out with it, but it's showing in Glasgow 2012. That's this year, so a couple of months from now. Any questions? Yes?
Who handled the narrative of the project?
The artists.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what kind of tools did they use when they was writing about that kind of interaction and not just interaction at a console?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they workshopped it a lot. They had versions of the game which didn't have any technology before they brought the technology on board. So yeah, they were like running it with people, seeing what worked. Yep.
Is this involving Sohan Hayes at all?
Yeah, Sohan is doing quite a bit of stuff on it. He had a lot to do with a lot of the design, and he's doing the video and stuff like that.
How did you get involved?
How did I get involved? I don't remember. I don't remember. I think PBI are awesome. They've done some really amazing art projects over the years. They're always like really pushing social boundaries with their art, and I'm a big fan. So when they, said, "Do I want to do the technical stuff?" I was super excited. And there's another technical guy as well who did a huge amount on the project called Steve Berrick. Yep.
Is PBI related to CIA at all?
Yeah, I think the people in PBI Collective run CIA Studios over on Newcastle Street.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Cool. Thank you very much.
And now we have Andy, who's giving a presentation on hardcore, which is spelt as follows, making it a pun. Deserves a round of applause.
Okay, so we got music. There should be something. We'll find out maybe. No music? Okay, well, this is a bit of an experiment. It's kind of failed right there with the music not playing. But what I've got there is some metal playing, if you could imagine that. The idea is to intimidate, thank you, intimidate the player. And I want to try something with, you can click to the next one. So,
that should work.
Really?
There you go.
You got something? Yes, alright. Cool, I've used this without permission, and there's some stuff down the bottom which might give you a bit more idea. There's something going on in the background here. If you can kind of squint and figure out what it is, it should disturb you a little bit. So these are the early concepts for it. It's a tower defense game mixed with Defender, so you're not just clicking and then just waiting for things to happen. You've got the spaceship that actually sort of flies around the screen, and you control that part while doing the drag and drop stuff as well. The disturbing part about this game, it's an experiment, so I'm still, it's early days, it's like pre-alpha, is that the currency, what the aliens use to motivate their attack against you is blood. So basically they want troops for blood to fuel their machinery and their weapons, and that's why there's lots of red things on the screen. But here, a bit of a tame thing right now because I've just sort of grabbed it from the internet. Here's the interface. So you've got the dropship in the middle. Does this thing work? There we go, dropship there. Sorry about the darkness, I want it to be kind of moody anyway. That's the thing that you control, but you also have these buttons to drop stuff on the ground like that, and the troops as well in the next frame. There we go for time. Oh, I've got heaps of time. Okay, so yeah, but I've got to work on this interface as well. I think I've got to go with the transparency thing, so that it doesn't block your view, because the idea is to have this ship floating around really fast, and it's like, the idea was to stop the action right now. Oh, that's a minute left. Okay. And then just quickly drop things down and then go off and fly and stuff. And I'm just going to whip forward here. So you just sort of drag your troops on, go to the front line with the bad guys here. They're trying to suck your blood and all that sort of stuff. And working on some way of making it intuitive. 30 seconds. And let's go with that. And here's kind of the front line action here. You know, there's spaceships blasting these guys, plus you can drop stuff down at the same time. Experiment, I don't think anyone's really done it to that sort of level of ferocity. And I'm going to just click through here, and that's the end slide, and then hopefully got a demo. So just play that now. And this is just a really early prototype of the kind of action that you'd be controlling the thing. Click again. There you go. And again, go. Try once more. No, it's not going to play. Once more. No, no. Okay, well, you can imagine it was moving and stuff. Yeah. It took me like 10 times to get this right and it still didn't work. But anyway. Out of time.
Run it during questions.
So, yeah. So,
Questions?
questions? No questions?
Questions for Andy.
Are you going to have an option to be allowed to play the actual alien cast as well as the
Oh yeah, it's going to be multiplayer as well. So, and also focusing on the disturbing nature of getting blood as currency. I'm hoping that will put players off a little bit. Like it's the idea of it kind of stemmed from, I don't know whether anybody was bothered by this, but when I played Tomb Raider, when it went, the 3D rather than 2.5D version of it, and I had to shoot bears. To get past, through the next level. That kind of disturbed me that I was killing, nice furry animals. So that times a million. That's what I'm trying to create with this game. Probably the idea is a game that you don't want to play, which is kind of a risky move. But I think I'm kind of over the cutesy sort of things on the iOS, and so that's what I'm going for.
Do you think then that you should also use pets and animals and stuff like that in it?
That's a great idea. You should come on my team, be the designer. Yes, bunnies, exploding rabbits and stuff like that. Sorry? Say that again?
It's generally easier to have an emotional attachment to animals than it is humans.
Yeah, and I think dogs and cats would be a good one as well, especially like having frontline dogs. You put them down and you're going, I don't want them to die. But you know that they're going to go in and go for the throat for these creatures, and they're saving the humans. So the humans, which I didn't get around to talking about, they level up and they become veterans. It was probably on the slide there somewhere. You get to keep these guys, so it becomes an emotional attachment with some of these characters, that you keep them through about 15 levels, and then like in Eve, for example, is it Eve? Yeah, with the Isk and all that. Someone just comes in and blows your character away, and you just, rage quit the game for 6 months.
Kind of like, I think it's Fire Emblem where if the character dies, you lose them for good.
Yes. Yeah. Anything to put the player off from playing again.
Solid business model.
Yeah, it's an experiment.
What engine?
So that was done with AGK, because I'm Slack. But it started out being on, I started on using Xcode and OpenGL, and it just got really boring and slow. So I just went with something that I was writing really quickly. I'm still not decided on which platform which engine I'm going to use. It's probably going to be Unity, because the multiplayer will be a lot easier. But I'm also thinking the effects, I might have to go to UDK, which I'm really loathing the thought of that. Because the development community out there really doesn't want anybody to get in there, and so the documentation is really hard to get into. And yeah, so the engine's sort of open at the moment. I don't really know what I'm going to do. Yep.
Last question.
How big is your design team? Is it just been you that's been working on it?
Yeah, it's just me. But I talk to a lot of these guys and steal all their ideas. And no, I've got Anthony Carrero doing the art for me, so that's a win right there. And I will just always pick the brains of everybody here that are game developers that I know for the technical issues and stuff like that. But who knows, if it ramps up, then get a bit of money. I want to try that Kickstarter thing to get some seed capital for it. And
Thanks, Andy. Yes, I'm sure, Andy, is that going to be on your video going to be on your website? Or?
Yeah, I'll put it up.
Okay, so make sure to check out the video on Andy's website, drewfx.com. Yep. Our final speaker for today is Tim Oliver, who's submitted a video pitch on enhancing the social side of gaming. So, take it away for Tim. I don't know if we clap. Is it like clapping at a cinema? I'll just take it. Thank you.
Good evening, folks. Thanks for your time. My name's Tim, and I'm coming to you from a small little group called Boomer Games. We're a bunch of guys that not only do we like playing games, but we also like to make stuff for games. We started off as a small collaboration group building utilities for the Quake 3 engine, and ever since then, we've been going on to making greater and greater things. Maybe one day, we might actually make a game for our own. I guess we'll see. Anyway, so, the thing I'd like to pitch to you tonight is a little project I started working on at the end of last year. I'm very curious to know what you think about it. Okay. gamer cards. I don't know about you, but I love gamer cards. I love the social aspect about them. I think it's safe to say that gaming is a very communal thing. And with that, I think gamer cards are a great way to help reinforce your own online presence, keep up with your friends' progress in their games, and even make some new ones at the same time. Oh yeah, and the smack talk and bragging rights. Can't forget about them, right? The problem is, not many services actually offer gamer cards. In fact, I only know one. But more and more services now starting to offer their gamer data through APIs, and I bet that's something we could use. So, with that in mind, here's my little project. I call it UberCard. Simply put, UberCard is a gamer card engine. It's not targeted at any one game service, but more to serve as a framework on which any gaming service could be incorporated. I mean, if you think about it, the process of creating a gamer card is a pretty standard series of steps. Of those steps, the only ones that would actually change between gaming services would be the processes of dealing with the actual API input and then moving that to the database, and then the actual rendering of the card itself. The rest is actually pretty constant. To that end, UberCard has been designed so these particular processes are completely isolated and can be swapped out at will. The end result would be a singular engine capable of concurrently managing multiple gaming services and then within that, multiple themes for every gamer card. Best of all, UberCard will be open source. So if any game developers would like to feature a gamer card service for their own games, they wouldn't have to reinvent the wheel. UberCard is about 80% complete at this point. Once it's done, it'll be a freely available service from the UberGames website, and I'll be releasing the source code on GitHub under the MIT license. So that's my pitch. I hope you liked it, and I'd love to hear what you thought about it. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can fire a tweet at me at Tim Oliver with a 0 instead of the O. Or, if you're too cool to tweet, you can also find the rest of my contact details on my vCard site, which is oliver.bg. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for your time, and have an awesome weekend. I'm going to go get drunk now.
Final comment was called a cry for help, so I'm disappointed everybody clapped at that. So, yeah, I don't have my iPad, I don't know what I meant to say, but I'll just say thank you everybody for coming. I think we ended up with around 70 people and another 89, 90 people online, which is cool. Thank you online people, you win. Well, I'm sure we get bonus points for being here in person, so it's not a pure numbers game. I would like to again thank Rich, who has taken on this, organising this event. He's kind of shamed the rest of us with his frequent updates and sort of encouraging people, organising all the pictures for people have submitted. He's done a fantastic job, so if we just get a round of applause for Rich. Also again, thanking our sponsors, MVX by Sentient Computing, Quantum College and Space Cubed. Definitely come to one of the open days. We're here sometimes. But that's 12 till 2 on Wednesdays. I think we're going to another venue, which I haven't yet been told about. We have prizes. I think I'm just going to call Rich up now, since he knows what's going on. I've completely expired all of my notes. And here's Rich.
So, hi everyone, thanks for coming around. I'm just going to call Tom from SpaceCube because we have 2 awesome prizes, which is basically 2 1-month subscriptions to SpaceCube, so you can get to use this space for free. And I'm just going to ask Tom here to maybe come around and say a few words.
Everybody. So, are you giving 2 prizes away? Because we only have 1. It's a bit stingy, isn't it? Take anything you want. Like, we've got a printer over there, a couple of computers. No, thanks guys. Thanks for coming out. You know, the reason we exist is to basically put communities of people together in Perth, and hopefully through that network, create value and connect good ideas and ultimately do good things. So, SpaceCube's all about, you know, people like you, people like me, getting together, working on good ideas and effectively making things happen. So, awesome to be working with the Let's Make Games guys. And more importantly, really I'd sort of recommend that everyone here, if you so wish, there's a home here for you. You know, we're a cheap alternative to working in the kitchen, working in your car, working on the kitchen table, and that's the kind of experience that we've had for the past few years. So, interesting to see the projects, but the one thing that I'd really like to do, and this is very selfish from my perspective, is were you the the procrastination guy?
Yeah.
I love procrastination. I'm like the ultimate procrastinator.
Oh well, I'm sure there are plenty of people here.
There are, I'm sure.
There's lots of challenges.
Like one of the things though with co-working is because we're all ideas-driven people, we just never bloody get anything done because we're all busy sharing ideas. But actually, what we're trying to do in this space is create an environment by which we get you to market. You know, it's great to have a nice social club, but let's get people out there and doing things. So, month by month, we've introduced a program called the In-House Residence Provocateur, and I'd love you to get involved if you would so wish in terms of challenging the reason why people are here, in terms of, you know, sure it's great, but what are you actually trying to get out of this? Where's your motivation coming from? And looking at some of those procrastination things is particularly interesting for me. So if you'd like to dance that dance with them, love you to come in here and annoy people.
Yeah!
That kind of sick of me doing it. So I need a wingman in that respect.
Could be.
You look terribly frightened.
No, it's just unexpected.
There you go.
I don't know, did anyone else expect that?
So yeah, we want to give this guy a membership.
Alright.
Woo!
The membership is going to go out to basically a sort of democratic process online. Is that correct?
Just quickly, we're probably just going to have like a Facebook poll afterwards online, and people can vote for their favorite pitch of the night, and the winner was going to get one month subscription to SpaceCube.
Yeah. No, thanks everyone. As I say, you know, this is your space, so thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks to the Let's Make Games guys, because these are awesome people.
I think we'll get with a handshake for the.
Oh, here we go. Welcome home, my boy.
I think that's about it for the night, really. Thanks a lot to everyone. Oh, we do have a prize from Quantum College. Sentient, sorry. They didn't tell me about it. Would you like to award the prize tonight? A big round of applause for
Thank you. I was hoping that there'd be some judges and someone would choose the best talk and would give it to the best talk. So does anybody have any burning desire for a really nice backpack?
Oh, I could win that as
There you
well.
go.
You won.
But no,
No, I honestly feel bad about taking this.
What's your favourite talk?
I would
Yeah,
like.
what's your favourite talk? And you can hand it down.
No, but this is exactly the kind of pressure that gave it to me. Like so someone else is just going to say, "Hey, I could win it," and I will just give it to them, right? So I will offer this to the Let's Make Games guys to give us a prize. No, I will. I don't know what to do. Alright, sorry, just keep it.
I don't have any need for a bag. I don't leave the house. I don't go anywhere.
Well, you will be coming to SpaceCube now, so you will need one of them. Alright, so
Your other option is to give it to whoever comes second on the Facebook poll.
there you go. So
I didn't know that was a Facebook poll. Yeah.
Excellent suggestion. You should be in SpaceCube too. Alright, thanks everyone.
Yeah, have a bag for that suggestion.
Yeah, can we just get a big round of applause for all the team for organising and helping out? And
Ooh, conspiring.
Secrets.
Secrets.
Gotta stop whispering. Yeah, basically, we always want feedback after these events. We get a lot of feedback on the Pygmy mailing list, and we also invite feedback via the contact form on our website or the Facebook page. So definitely get onto the Facebook page so that we're going to be running a vote on the presentations. People on Ustream, let us know which talks you enjoyed, and that'll be for the second Space Cubed membership and for our fantastic bag. So yes, thank you. Chris. We are going somewhere afterwards, as Chris has pointed out.
Don't know where.
And we're open to suggestions for places which are nearby. I'm going to call Chris McCormick, come on down. Basically, if anybody else wants to talk into this microphone, it's open mic night.
It's a free for all around here. Yeah, there's like a bar up the
yeah, because some of them are playing.
Is that Roger's there? Barrack Street, yeah. And there's also an entrance to it on Hay Street. It's called 43 Below, and there's an obvious door. So it's like go up. It's not very far from here. It's like up there, then that way. Follow everyone else if you're going to come along. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, everybody. Please mingle and we're all out of water.
Put them on those things. It's always you get up and so you can get out.
We need them for noise. It's taken live. It's only